So this might sound strange coming from a white guy, but I really believe it's important for us in the white community to hear. The powerlessness that a lot of us feel about Trump literally being handed the keys to the free world, this is how the black community has felt for most of American history. Leaders who are looking out for a certain group of people, but not for you. Leaders and authority figures who are supposed to be looking out for you, representing you, protecting you, and actually doing the exact opposite. And all the while justifying it in the name of Jesus. The police are the classic example. Never in my entire life as a white person have I felt uncomfortable around a police officer, even when being pulled over by them. Totally different experience in the black community. And now we have this guy in the White House who is an absolute loose cannon, and who knows what he's going to do. This is all part of God's judgment against this nation. We have rejected the heart cry of the black community. We have refused to see their pain and hear their pain and feel their pain. So now the Lord is allowing us to feel it in a very different way.
See, what Donald Duck doesn't realize is he's not just damaging America's politics, he's actually damaging white America's reputation around the world. Because for centuries, black folks have been out here trying to clean up that image. We've been the bridge, right? The reason why people in Africa and the Caribbean and South America and even Europe still gave America a chance, because they saw us. They saw our soul, they saw our music, they saw our forgiveness and our strength. And they said, if those people can still love America after everything it's done to them, maybe America isn't all that bad. Black people humanized this country, right? We softened how the world saw white people. Through our grace, through our creativity, and our endurance, we made America look civilized. We made it look like progress was possible. But then Trump came along and he ripped that mask off, right? He's exposing the same hate and the greed and the cruelty that we've been warning about for generations. Now the world sees it, live and unfiltered, the arrogance, the racism, the authoritarianism, all of it on full display. While black people were out here trying to build bridges, Trump's been out here burning them down. While we were trying to heal the image of white America, he's been proving every stereotype right. That power corrupts, that whiteness unchecked turns violent, that America's greatness was built on domination, not democracy. So now the world ain't just looking at us like the victims anymore. They're looking at y'all like the threat. And that's the irony in all of this. For centuries, we've carried the burden of proving America had humanity. Now, Trump's making the world question if it ever did.
A woman said on social media that Donald Trump is probably the most corrupt president the U.S. has ever had. But I don't care as long as he keeps going after black and brown people. And this is why Trump's new statement of we need to go to a wartime economy might just happen. He wants to raise our military budget to $1.5 trillion. And he wants to cut all the public programs for health, education, research into diseases, I think even public parks might get cuts and whatnot, massive cuts to things that people need to survive. So of course, Medicaid, and of course, welfare benefits and all those things. And his supporters will always say, yes, that's fine. Because in their minds, I may lose this, but those people of color are losing it too. That's why we don't have healthcare in this country, because people of color might get it. That's why we don't have universal education, because, well, that means free, because people of color might get it. This is why they're trying to get rid of free lunches, because children of color might get it. And this hate and spiral of insane feeding of propaganda has been going on for forever. It's like in the 1930s, they had this statement where they said marijuana makes Mexicans lust for the flesh of white women. Like literally, they put this out like this is perfectly normal. Birth of a Nation, painting black people as these aggressive, apish, ogreish-like people that are just angry and aggressive and violent. And they've been doing this for generations. They've been creating, manufacturing this hate, this obsession that somehow immigrants and people of color are going to be the end of us because they're so violent. But yet every war that's been started has been started by who? All of these hate groups are who? And you have to think about what that means to someone's psyche, where you're believing all of this rhetoric, but you're the one enacting the violence. You're the one doing the wars. You're the ones doing all the crazy. And this is why we're in this situation now. Racism is expensive, folks. And now we're stuck in potentially not even having the basic programs we get now. We don't even get what other countries get. We're not getting universal health care. We're not getting free health care. We have the most expensive health care, and we don't even get the best service. So we're not getting that because of this fear, this need to hate immigrants and people of color.
Wow.
And I'm just really worried at what this is going to cause. Because at this point, I can't expect Trump voters to see it for what it is that you've been played because they wrote on your racism. But I'm hoping they do at least realize these people don't have your best interest in mind. I'm hoping they come to simply that realization. They don't care about you. They don't care what happens to you that much, because they'll never see through their racism. That's ingrained in them because of the American propaganda machine. But I'm hoping they can come to the realization that they are being bamboozled. They've been hoodwinked. They've been whatever little cute thing you want to say there. They've been had. There it is. That's an old one. So this is where we're at. And I'm really hoping that at some point, this whole administration just gracefully bows out and we can try to salvage what's left of a nation. Because the birth of this nation was on the backs of immigrants and black people. So y'all have a great day.
Because you've created a problem for the white working class and the white underclass, but you want to make them think that blacks have created that problem. So you attack DEI as though that was an instrument that gave blacks an advantage over whites. And that's really what it's doing. They know that the people who have profited most by DEI is white people. But they don't know that because the people they're trusting is telling them just the opposite. If you want to find out who's getting the preference in the jobs, it's still white people and primarily white women right now, right? You want to find out who's getting the food stamps, it's white women. You want to find out who's the majority on welfare, it's still white people. But they don't want to accept that about themselves. You really have to show them that. They're told that black people are getting all these advantages because of DEA. They're being given jobs they're not qualified for, what they don't deserve, and that's why you're unemployed.
Y'all ever wonder why the Republican Party used to have a ton of black voters? Because, yeah, believe it or not, black people, we were riding with the GOP for nearly a century. But then something changed. So let's talk about it. The Republican Party was the original party of black progress. When the Republican Party was founded in 1854, it was literally the anti-slavery party. Lincoln freed enslaved black people. The Republicans passed the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendments, giving black men freedom, citizenship, and voting rights. And Frederick Douglass, did y'all know he was a proud Republican? Because back then, the GOP actually fought for black progress. So, needless to say, for decades, black people were overwhelmingly Republican and stayed true to that path until the Great Depression. So, what happened? The Great Depression hit and black communities got hit the hardest. FDR's New Deal in the 1930s, Democrats finally started offering some economic relief, and black people noticed. But we couldn't be so easily swayed, so we weren't fully sold on the Democrats yet. But yeah, we took notice as to who was actually putting food on the table. And this was the first major crack in the black loyalty towards the GOP. But the real breaking point came in the 1960s, when Democrats finally embraced civil rights. And the Republicans, they made their choice. JFK and LBJ, they pushed for desegregation and voting rights. Most black people at this point had already left the GOP, but now we were all in with the Democrats. Meanwhile, Nixon's Southern strategy in 1968 catered to white voters who were angry about integration. So instead of fighting for black votes, the GOP went after the white backlash vote. Then came Reagan, and the dog whistles, they got loud. He pushed the welfare queen stereotype just to justify cutting the social programs that help black communities. He opposed the Civil Rights Act and the Voting Rights Act. So, needless to say, by the 1980s, the GOP, they were fully the party of white grievance politics. They weren't trying to win black votes anymore. They were just trying to suppress us. And John McCain, he wasn't perfect, but he wasn't a puppet. He shut down conspiracy theories instead of fueling them. He respected democracy even when he lost. And he didn't turn his party into a cult. And when he died in 2018, so did the last shred of dignity in the Republican Party. So, who is the Republican Party? They stand for voter suppression instead of winning elections fairly, culture wars
I
instead of
really feel
policies
that
that help people,
Trump
and
actually know
owning the
what
libs
he's
instead of
doing.
governing. Black voters didn't
But in
abandon
the
the
other way
GOP.
around,
The GOP abandoned black
Trump
voters.
Trump
And
is a
now they
billionaire.
don't
Like
even pretend
Trump
to
is
want us
very
back.
rich.
The Republican
He's
Party went from
capable.
fighting for
So
freedom
all this
to
stuff
fighting
that's going
against
on, this
progress.
war
And
and
this is where
everything.
we
I don't actually get it. Why the white people thinking that Donald Trump is in favor of the black? Because if the white can actually receive the heat, because Trump is trying to make everything balanced for both the white and the black. But currently now, the white people are actually saying that Donald Trump is in the favor of the black, and which does not make sense. Because if everything is being revoked, like the way we, the black, have been feeling a lot of pain, so are the whites trying to say that they can feel that pain? Because Trump is trying to make everything balanced as possible. Now the whites are like calling the black because I don't understand. Like I don't really understand. Just continue the video. Let's just continue the video and hear other people's opinion on this because everybody have their opinion and everything is just going crazy. Let's just hear some other people's opinion. All right. So,
You having that mindset of thinking that white people are out to get you and we think lower
Well, I don't
of
think
you?
that you're all out to get me.
Well, of course not all of them, but you have this mindset that there's a systemic problem of racism that's mandated by the government and we're all out to get you and there's this racist boogeyman out there. That's a victim mindset that's
What
only
do you
going to
call the
keep you
president
down.
then?
Call the president someone who's done so much good for the black
What
community.
has he done for the black community?
Black unemployment. It has gone up or has gone down with Donald Trump. He has helped these communities. He has cut regulations to make it easier for jobs. He is getting rid of illegal immigrants in this country to make it so that black wages can actually rise. Illegal immigration is one of the main causes of black wages going down, and he is trying to fix that. He has done work for the black community.
Trump was supposed to punish us
That's why they voted for him.
because white America was mad that black people had finally overcome Jim Crow and the Civil Rights Movement, and things were finally looking equal. We weren't asking for extra, just wanted to be treated the same. And this was our punishment for being good at it. We were not supposed to be able to come back after all these centuries of oppression. We were not supposed to be able to come back and be equal. That was not supposed to happen. And because it did, and black women showed the fuck out and did it better, they threw a fucking temper tantrum. This is what a white America temper tantrum looks like. But it backfired. You didn't think he was going to sacrifice you. So no, we're not going to clean up your mess. You did this to spite me. Why the fuck would I help you clean it up? Nope. And all because we played the game fairly. You built the game. We just played along. We didn't want retribution. We didn't want to punish anybody. You couldn't even handle us playing fair. And even now, you are watching this world fall apart because you don't want to admit that you did it out of racism. Well, you know what? Let it burn then. If you're willing to let your creation burn down to the ground, then admit that you did this all to spite black people, so be it.